for with text magic. So while they working on that, they are working around it, and they gave me a temporary number so I can just start marketing. And thankfully, but it's like taking forever. But dealing with that for like the last almost 4 days, 4 or 5 days. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, that A2P stuff, man, it's starting to get a little bit crazy. And I think it's really more so on like a regulation standpoint, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Because it already had been approved from like, over a year ago, but with all these new updates and all this stuff, um,
Mm-hmm.
something had basically got knocked out of whack in my account. And so now I had to get in touch with Text Magic, and it was, oh my God, it was like a whole, show. So
Yeah. A whole shebang.
seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Let me go ahead and start letting these folks in here. Perfect. Nice to see all of you guys. Hope you guys are having an amazing week so far. Thank you for joining us. And then you are actually, guys, hopefully you guys have anything that you need, but you guys, if you don't, that's perfectly fine. But I got some stuff that I gotta kind of get moving and grooving. So you guys will actually see me try to disposition some stuff with some agents live. And then I can also answer your questions in the meantime as well, as always. So let me go ahead and make sure I get this situated. Everyone's having a good week so far? Go ahead and take this parcel ID real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. So as you guys know, one of the things that I've been recently putting some emphasis on is for any lots that we find that we don't have a buyer for a builder, we've just been putting them on the market. And I think I talked about a little bit of that last week. And I have one that I have to find an agent for specifically in that area that will hopefully take equitable listings. Just because when I went to the flatfee.com one, they don't have a way to just do listings based off parcel IDs. So I don't know if any one of you guys, I think Chris, I think you mentioned you were licensed. I can't remember what state.
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. How do you know the process of how you guys do it up there with properties that don't have assigned addresses?
That's a good question, actually. I don't think I've ever done it. I know how I do it on my end. I just, I go into AI and I tell it what would be the best address for this, and it tells me what address to use. I had a guy had
That
two.
is
I had a guy had two lots. So it should be so. Every home, at least in Maryland, has a legal description with an actual parcel ID number, and
uh-huh.
we can do that. We can do the parcel ID number in the MLS here.
Okay.
So I don't know
Gotcha.
if it's
Okay.
I don't know. My MLS is only like three, it's like the Northeastern, it's only like 3 or 4 states that I'm accessible to. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure not all are created equal, but I don't know if it's different wherever you're at. Where's your one at?
So I'm in Florida, and Florida has like a lot of MLSs. Mine's only covers probably like maybe 7 or 8 counties, probably a little bit more than
Right.
that. But yeah, they have like a couple of them within the state of Florida. This one is further out. It's like close to Tallahassee where this one is
Yeah.
located at.
I know a ton of realtors in Florida. I could always ask one of them.
Oh yeah. I'm actually gonna call some realtors now to live in front of you guys. So we can kind of see because this is in Jackson County. And as you guys, I don't know how many of you guys have heard my saying, but my current saying in this season is if they got cash for grass, I'm on their ass. So if the builder doesn't want it, someone on the MLS is definitely gonna want it. 0040. But this one is a little bit more rural. If we want, Tam laughing. Tam already heard me say this. Tam get money over there too. Tam, shout out to your deal that you got closing with Derby too. Fingers crossed that gets expedited. But real quick, I'll show you guys just kind of like a quick overview of how I'll start like looking for realtors in this area. and then how I plan to probably disposition this
What
one.
part of Florida it's in? One of my investors, his wife's a realtor, and he said they list land down there all the time.
Oh
Part of
yeah,
Florida.
tell him I got something in Jackson County. And as always, we picked this one up for like 65 or 6,800. And we seen comps for like 12, 13. So not like a huge spread, but something is something. But GGN. We want to I look at what sold in the last 90 days.
Is this
Do
Jackson?
land. This is like close to like, it's Jackson County, but
Okay.
it's like maybe like, what, 2-3 hours from Tallahassee.
Yeah, we get he's gonna send me his wife's info. I'll link you guys up. His name's Eugene. He's a investor in both Florida and Maryland. He owns a ton of stuff. But his wife's an agent in Florida. They could probably help you out with getting it on the MLS.
Perfect.
I sold him a couple
Yeah,
properties when he lived here in Maryland. Now that they just moved down to Florida last year, and they're growing their business down there now.
let's do it. I'm actually going to call some agents live too, just so you can kind of, if you guys want to see how to kind of connect with agents.
Francis, can you put your email in the chat for me so I can do an intro for you?
Yes.
Yep, he just sent me an email with his wife's info now.
Perfect. And then put us in a group email, and that'd be great.
Yeah. So I figure out which one of my 3 screens they're in.
I was thinking about upgrading my screen, and I was like, I already have too many tabs. That's just going to make the problem even bigger. 890-6832. All right, let me call this agent. Let's see.
Oh, it's Matthew.
Hey, Matthew. My name is Francisco. The name associated with this number said William. I don't know if you.
Oh, yeah, it's my first name. Sorry.
Oh, okay. You threw me off there for a second. All right. So I was giving you a call just because I am looking to refer an agent a listing that I have here under contract in Jackson County, and I see you recently sold something nearby July for about 7,500.
Yeah. You got a vacant lot?
Yes, sir. Vacant lot. Let me see how far this is. Probably is no more than maybe like 2-3 miles away from where I have mines at. Yours?
Yeah, Compass Lake.
Yeah, it's off of Fairview Road.
Oh yeah, I grew up in Compass Lake, so I know
Oh,
it pretty well.
perfect. What can you tell me about that area just to make sure I have kind of like the numbers penciled out on this deal correctly?
It's growing. What do you got, about an acre lot?
Yes, sir. It's about an acre lot, very similar to yours.
Flood zone or no?
Mine's is exactly 1.2 acres, and it's not in a flood zone.
Okay, that's good news. So those units or those lots sell pretty easy if you keep them under 10,000.
Okay.
But when you put them over 10,000, they sit on market for over 100 days and they're harder to sell.
Got you. Okay.
I got buyers for less than 10,000 all day. I got people who are ready to buy Compass Lake. Problem is everybody wants 10 to 14,000 for a lot that really the market is really like 5 to 6,000. But we've been getting 7,500, 8,000, 9,000, depending on how flat it is, what the tree canopy looks like, how the utilities are placed out. Like if you got power running down the road and a transformer not far, that shoots you up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty flat. that does well for you. People, they shy away from the flood zone, but I can still sell a flood zone in Compass Lake.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, you sound like the man with the plan out there. So I'm glad that you were the first person I found and you picked up the phone, because most realtors don't pick up the phone. So
no, that's my number one rule is when money's calling, you better answer.
absolutely. Okay, sweet. All right. So my next question to you is, are you familiar with equitable listings?
Equitable?
Interest listings. Almost like a tongue twister there.
Not really.
Okay, so basically I'm licensed in the state of Florida as well too. But my primary line of work is an investor. So I like to pick up lots for low, and then obviously I make my money selling them high, right? So I do not have MLS access in Jackson County, but in our purchase agreements with sellers that we get under contract, there's a marketing clause in there that allows us, and obviously they consent to it because it's in the contract and the addendum, that we're entering a purchase agreement that allows us to market our equitable interest and post it on the MLS. So that's the reason that I'm calling you.
Okay. Can I run that by my broker and get back with you?
100%. Yeah, you can 100% do that.
I've heard of all the other interests that you got to disclose, but I've never heard of equitable interest. So, but I can learn about it pretty quick.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You could definitely, check in with your broker. That's why I always like to make sure I set the expectation, and then also ask if people are familiar with it, because I do know everybody, is they have their own way of doing business and stuff like that. Okay. And then if your broker needs me to break it down or show them past examples of stuff that I've done or any other HUD statements or whatever, I can provide those as well.
Oh no! I'm sure it'll go well, and I am the Jackson County landman. Like people been coming to me left and right with looking for more property up there, and I done sold every listing I got for every vacant lot.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I got a list full of people ready to buy.
Perfect. I mean, it definitely sounds like we have some synergy to work well together. If you already have buyers, we can kind of like skip the listing and you can just shoot it over to them. And then, I mean, I have a decent, this is not a home run deal now, but I do have a decent spread to compensate either like a flat fee or a percentage of what I'm able to sell this, greater for. And then if we can turn this to a recurring thing and I could just send you everything that I have there, that will even be better, because then that's one less step I have to do.
Yeah, that sounds ideal to me too.
Okay, perfect. So can you text me your email address? How can we get the ball rolling on this, just so that way, whether it's a listing or whether you just shoot it over to your buyers, and if you have a buyer that wants to come to the table, we can make sure that before everything gets moving, we just have an agreement that specifies like, hey, this is what you're getting compensated, the buyer closing, we already have it at title, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, as long as we can get the ball rolling, time is of the essence, the golden rule in real estate.
Awesome. Yes, sir. And hey, I'll let you on another one. They're doing a tax deed sale on the 30th. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of good stuff on that tax deed sale worth looking at.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I mean, even better. I mean, especially.
Yeah, go check out their website. The platform's pretty easy to use, but there's a lot of good. I ain't got the money right now, or I'd be buying some of them. Mm-hmm. But I've been sending them to all my buyers and telling them, hey, y'all need to check this out. Y'all need to check this out. I don't know how many of them are actually going and looking.
Gotcha. And then let me ask you this: in the event that none of your buyers want this, and then we do have to post it on the MLS, do you take care of like drone photos or anything of that nature?
Oh yes, sir. I got my license and everything. Got a nice DJI drone. I got a Canon. I'm a professional cinematographer, so I do a lot of videos now. Oh yeah, and my media is great. Yeah, you can check me out on Facebook. Actually, Matthew Grimsley. Okay. And, I post a lot of stuff there.
Perfect. Can you text me now, so that way I can go ahead and lock you in, and then we can kind of also just get the ball rolling either on this one or any other ones that I come across. I'm so glad I don't have to make any other calls, because sound like you're the man already. So yeah, just text me your information. I'll lock you in. Perfect. I just got it. And then I'll send you over I'll send you over the details now. And then, yeah, just let me know. Get back to me as soon as you can.
Yeah, for sure. I'm right here in front of my computer right now. It's perfect time.
Perfect. All right. I'll go ahead and send it through in about 5-10 minutes.
Cool, buddy. I look forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matthew.
Yeah, have a nice day. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Easy peasy. Any questions on that call, guys?
Yeah, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hi there. What is
Hey,
what is your conversation? Okay, so if you were not a licensed realtor, what would that conversation sound like?
the same way that only difference that I told him was that I just so happen to be licensed as well too.
Okay.
But that's why you ask them, are they familiar with equitable interest listings? Because some agents are, where they know, like, okay, as long as the verbiage on the contract states that the seller is authorizing us to put it on the MLS. And a little bit of this may sound like legal semantics. So I'm not an attorney, but I'm just telling you what an attorney told me. Okay.
Got it.
When you have that language in the contract, you're not marketing the property. You are marketing your equitable interest in the property. So there's a difference, right? Every state will be different. So if you're outside of Florida, just talk to an attorney, make sure the equitable interest language aligns with whatever is up to date. But if you're not licensed, you could just ask the agent, like, hey, I'm an investor. I work with agents in this capacity. Are you familiar with equitable interest listings?
Got it.
Yep. And then if they say yes, then they already know, like, okay, you're a wholesaler. If they say no, you may have to educate them or whatever the case may be. And then you just go from there. But this is also a good way to not only build relationships, but know more about like other areas. Because here's my thought process, right? Builders aren't the only one who buy land. And in my thought process, in my line of work, right? I'm gonna just be frank. I feel like we're all families here, right? I don't care what you do with the land after I sell it to you. You could put a barn, you could put a tree house on that thing. Like, I don't care. More power to you. You know what I mean? So once I did my first deal earlier this year that I didn't sell to a builder, I was like, shit, I'm gonna just start. Whoever want to buy this, first come, first serve, you know? So that's kind of like my thought process. And then if you look at kind of like the history of how other land gets sold, they put it on the MLS and people are already looking for land. You just have to make yours available to those who find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then based on what the agent was saying, kind of like he said, he kind of confirmed what I was already speculating, because I've never done anything here. I never visited there. I never drove anything there. Can you guys still see my screen? Okay. What I was speculating was, if you see all of the ones that sold in less than 90 days, because that's what the filter I put in, you see a 10,000 sold right here, a 18,000 sold right here, right? You see a couple, let me move this out. You see a 7,500 sold, a 16,000, a 9,000. So you got you got a few that sell over 10,000. But one of the key things that he said was that anything under 10,000 sells relatively quickly, right? So we got this for 6,500, and I was like, damn, we could probably sell this thing for 12, right? 12, 14, because I seen all these other ones. You got an 11, right? You got another 75, 5,000. All of these you can, and then if you wanted to see how long it took to sold, you just press view property, and then you just check the MLS details and see how long did it take to sell. And look, this one, they put it up for sale. Look, they tried to put it up for sale back in January, 14,000. They reduced the price back in April. It took them to April to reduce the price. And a month later, they were under contract, and then they closed in June for 10,000. So talking to agents that pick up the phone will also give you confirmation of what your flips are doing, or what's the probability of your flips moving fast in that particular area. Because there are things that people, boots on the ground, would be able to know better than what you're able to see on any computer screen. Kind of like your example, Tam, that you told me about the play that you're running. Somebody like me wouldn't know that. You follow me? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
So, but because you in that area, you kind of know what's what and what's not, because you either talk to people, you hear what other people got going on and stuff like that. So you get more confirmation of what's going on in any market by actually talking to people as well too.
And what does your split with an agent normally look like when you feel like this?
So depending on what he comes back to me, I'm gonna be like, listen, bro, I got a flat fee for you, bro. I listed another one. Matter of fact, let me ask him to send it to me. I listed another one that went live yesterday with another agent, and it's a 15K spread, and I offered him 1,500, and he was okay with that. And I was like, okay, great. Let me ask him to send it to him. Hey, can you send me the listing listing that went live, please? All right, perfect. Eli, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Oh,
You just you just kind of you just answered one of my questions. I was asking what percentage are you offering these realtors for? It sounds like you always do a flat fee.
it. I will always prefer a flat fee. Not every agent will accept that, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you do have to do a little bit of math on kind of like what makes sense. And you kind of got to gauge them. Like, are you going to try to tax me just for data entry and screening phone call? And you could just tell them straight up, it's like, hey, it's a flat fee. You don't got to do none of the work. Have all the calls go to me, or have all the calls go to one of my team members. So that way they don't feel like you're trying to, lowball them and have them do all the work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now,
So
there's a,
sorry, go ahead.
now I was gonna say there's another agent that I work with in another part of Florida in Okeechobee, where he doesn't do that the flat fee stuff. He's like, I want my 3%. And I'm like, but he does all the work. So I'm like, shit, if I ain't gotta do nothing and you bring the buyer and you're doing all the work, okay. So it's really just a negotiation thing and what they feel comfortable doing.
So do you actually have that verbal conversation with the seller as far as listing the property on MLS, or is that just something that's in your contract?
It's in the contract and it's verbally talked about as well too. Now, how we verbally talk about it, I just tell them straight up, like, hey, if we're not able to agree on price that we can actually sell directly to one of our builder partners, the next offer that we can give you is being able to allow you, Mr. Seller, to leverage our marketing and negotiation skills, and then we'll connect you with a buyer that we get through our marketing efforts, publicly advertising the property. And then that buyer pays us a finder's fee, and then you get the price that we agreed upon.
Okay. Yeah,
Sounds completely different than, hey, I must list your property for more than what we have it under contract for, whatever less.
So I've got a property 7 acres under contract right now where I've had a couple buyers come back to me and ask me if I could do seller financing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it seems to be a good deal. Like the tax appraisal itself is $222,000. I've got it under contract for 70. The comps are ranging. I have a huge range anywhere between 15K to 55K an acre. So I've got it under contract for just under 10K an acre. I just posted
7
it.
acres.
7 acres, yeah.
7, okay.
I haven't really reached out to a whole lot of realtors. I haven't done what you've been doing. It's been posted on Facebook groups. Just posted on AFA. But I'm wondering if I should reach out to some realtors for sold land in the area. I'm just always real iffy about.
What was your
experience? It seems like realtors are like super skeptic in my area.
Yeah. So 2 things. So one, with realtors, it's definitely going to be one of those things where you want to kind of like build the relationship first and then try to work with them a little bit, right? And the best way to build a relationship with them is to ask them, how knowledgeable are you about what I do? You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's a foreign language to them. And if they tell you immediately up front based on how they speak, how they think about wholesalers, that lets you know everything you need to know if you need to work with them or not. You know what I mean? And if they're familiar with it, then and they're cool with it, you know what I mean? Move forward. If they're not familiar with it and they're not cool with it, don't do it. If they're not familiar with it, but they're open to it, then you just educate them and then, you know, just go from there and then just break it down to them in layman's terms, you know what I mean? As much as you can. Because in my thought process, and this is again just how I think, the best way to get deals, the only way deals get sold, and again, this is Francisco's opinion, no one else's. The best way to get deals sold is to get it in front of as many eyeballs as possible in a shorter period of time, right? So if you only have 10 buyers on your list or 20 buyers, you only have access to 10, 20 people. And those are the only people that you give the power to either say yes or no to, right? So you got to figure out a way that is, you know, advantageous and effective for you financially and repeatable to be able to get you in front of as many people as possible. The most cost effective way that I could think of and that I found, especially over this last year, is putting it on an MLS at a decent price, because that's where everybody eyeballs are already there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the stuff that stays on the market longer is people that pull stuff on market that's well overpriced. You know what I mean? And then I have kind of like a checklist that I follow depending on, you know, the situation. And then I try to exhaust as many options as possible to accelerate that, getting a buyer to say yes, if that makes sense. So Alpha is a great platform because you're leveraging Ken's team to do the calling and the texting for you, and then you just pick up the phone and follow up, right? But if you get no buyers on that platform, you still got to get eyeballs on the deal. And if it's 7 acres you are in Tennessee,
Yeah, 10 miles north of downtown.
10 miles away from where?
10 miles north of downtown
Nashville. Okay. That's a pretty, I can't imagine somebody out there not wanting 7 acres in that type of market. You know what I mean? So you got to just find somebody, either a realtor or maybe a broker, that somebody has to know what equitable interest listing is, or somebody that's open to working with wholesalers and getting a fee.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'm pretty sure my contract allows for MLS would be.
And then also, if you guys need, please run this by, if you're outside of Florida, please run this by an attorney so that way you are protected, because I'm not aware of all the rules and regulations outside of Florida. But I'm going to just give you verbiage that I put in my contracts, every single one of them, that covers us. But just to be clear, please, if you're outside of Florida, run this by an attorney. Do not just do this willy-nilly. I'm going to put it in the chat. It's not pasting. Let me download this as a PDF. And then I'll send this to you, Eli, so that way you can. Try to make some magic work with it.
This is just the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
I can just throw this in an addendum if this isn't.
Yeah, either the addendum or in the assignment paragraph in the contract. Yeah. No, you're good. Any more questions on that, or anybody else got any other questions?
Do you ever like partner up with the seller in a way that's like like, hey, I don't know like what your property is actually worth because it's been advertised, and I'm getting all kinds of different feedback. Would you be interested in having us listed on the MLS, so that we could, it's more of like a partnership rather than a, does that make sense?
Yeah. So if I understood you correct, are you asking like how do you like disclose it to them?
Or I guess I'm asking if you've ever done something like that.
Oh, like partner with like a
Like
like what they
maybe like have you ever offered a seller more to list their property on the MLS?
Yes and no. So when like in terms of offering them more, I would offer them like what retail is paying, but I'm very clear that this is not what you're going to net. Does that make sense? So I'm like, for example, the conversation is like, hey, we can either buy this at 20 and close X amount of days, because that offer is contingent upon my builder saying yes and what he's willing to pay for my knowledge, right? And then if they say no to that, I said, okay, we can offer you a little bit more, but just know you're not going to net this. You're not going to walk away with this. So we can maybe offer you 35, but you're probably going to net closer to 28 to 32, right?
Yeah.
As hypothetical examples. And then that's the only way I offer them more. So I just do the math for them in short, meaning like, hey, we'll do this price, cover all your majority of your expenses. Or if we do this price, there's no guarantee that we can cover your expenses. And then this is the net sheet that is going to, we're going to give you.
Gotcha.
And then another thing that I'll also recommend you guys kind of get privy to, because I'm starting to see a lot more of this, is not every buyer is willing to pay all the closing costs. I don't know if you guys ever ran into that situation, but if you run into a situation where, like there's some buyers that I've found dealing with them on the MLS where they do not want to pay. They don't want to pay the title fee for. They don't want to pay the title insurance policy for the seller. So understanding what closing costs the seller pays and what closing costs the buyer pays, it's a lot more nuanced than just saying. Now, it's not wrong to say we'll cover all your closing costs if your buyer does cover all the closing costs, but not every buyer is going to be like, oh, like I'm paying their closing costs for it. You know what I mean? So just be mindful of that as well too.
Have you been dealing with those scenarios?
You've been dealing with those scenarios?
No, I said, how have you been dealing with those scenarios?
Oh, so I tell the seller up front, like, hey, you have your sets of closing costs that you're going to incur, and we're responsible for our own. And then if you want us to, pay for them, I mean, yes, we can negotiate them, but, we just want to make sure that you're aware that that's not a requirement. Because as much as you want to walk away with what you are selling the thing for, we want to pay exactly what we're telling you. You want to walk away with 30,000 and not a penny less, and I want to give you 30,000 and not a penny less. So how do we move forward? We each pay our own closing costs because there's no way around that. And that's the best way to set the expectation, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Real quick, Al, do you have did that agent ever call you back on that deal you sent in Palm Coast?
Yeah, I sent you a message. He called back on it, but he's saying that they got a contract for 62. So I was like,
okay.
well, if it didn't fall through, just just get back with me. But he didn't really want to do the deal because it was $12,000 difference.
Man, you could do 54 and get closed in 2 days, man.
That's all I was trying to explain to him, and to me, because the property been on the market for over 190 days.
And he just got an offer for 62.
He said he did. But that ain't I don't believe he got an offer the same day I gave him an offer. And it's been on the market for over 190 days.
Man, agents, you gotta love them. Ricky, I think you sent me one too, Ricky in Palm Coast.
Yeah, I sent you one, Palm Coast. I got another one too, and both of them, both of the sellers said they want 80K. So
Mm.
I
But
was
they're
just,
not duplex locks, are they?
um, I think, the first one I sent you, it should have been a duplex lot.
Slumber Path, right? Or Slumber Lane, right?
Yeah, so that's somebody called me for that one, but it's another one with the same one. It's 41. So I sent you 12, but 41 Slumber Lane is another person that said they want to sell. And they said they want 80. I got their email address. They was like, send me a contract. They want 80, but I look for the price first and then try to line up a buyer before I actually go in the contract.
Same. Okay. No, yeah, you're not okay. I see the 41 Slumber Path to offer them.
And then as far as the other ones that you said just make an offer on, they haven't responded yet. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so yeah, they haven't nobody actually responded yet either, but it's another one that's not in the email I sent that they want 80 as well.
Oh, okay. Send it over so I can send it to the guy.
Okay. And for sure I'm driving right now, but when I get to the house, I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, just keep posted. And then just open invitation for you guys that were on the call on Friday. I have a builder that contacted me late on Friday night, and he needs lots like ASAP in Palm Coast. So Ricky sent me one that I'm sorry, Al sent me one that he wanted. But the agent is tweaking on price. But yeah, he's willing, he's ready to go. And like soon as title is clear, he's ready to go. So if you guys got anything in Palm Coast, please send it over so we can try to.
That lady hit me up earlier today, Lindsay Drive, but I didn't get a chance to really look at it. She said it was on a canal, but you said no canals, right?
This is in. He probably not gonna take anything on the water, and it backs up to I-95. How much they want for this?
She won 100.
She want 100 what?
She said she wanted 100K for it.
It's not happening, Captain. Immediately, it's immediate no once it backs up to I-95.
Okay.
The best she could probably get is like 55. Best.
Okay.
But 100 is not happening. This is L. No, yeah, it's not happening with Palm Coast.
Real quick, Al, I lost your number. Can you send me a text, please?
Okay, I'll send it to you.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Francisco, while we right here, my VA just like updated the spreadsheet and she loaded with three more lots. Somebody want to call back at 5. Another person saying 75K. I can give you the addresses for it. Or I can wait till I talk to him, but somebody wants 75. I can tell you the lot right now just so you can see if it's good.
Yeah, send it over.
It's I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving and grooving.
I also know a realtor too. He posts a lot of like Port Charlotte stuff and Palm Bay stuff, and it be kind of low price, and I always call him and say, hey, could you ask could you ask that seller if they'll be willing to take a cash offer of this, but like he for some reason, like his timing be kind of slow. He don't really be getting back to me. But I'm gonna run what you said with him. I'm gonna incentivize him. I'm gonna make it something in it for him because I think he'll get back if I'm like hey, I'll pay you if we can close these deals, if you can list these properties. So I was already like creating a text message to Cindy.
Mm-hmm. And then I think also another way to kind of like put it into perspective for agents is I heard this a long time ago when I first started being an agent, and I never understood it until now. But they were like, if you list, you last. And what they were saying is basically like with realtors, they only know two forms of getting money in real estate. It's either helping buyers look at, however many homes until they feel satisfied, or helping sellers sell their house. So leveraging their pretty much their license to make more money doing less work, right? And what agents have to understand is like, and so you have to find a way to communicate it in a way where it doesn't sound like you arrogant, but it also doesn't sound like, you like not coming with them with a solid opportunity. You pretty much have to explain to them like, hey, this is a listing opportunity. This is what it entails. And this is how much it pays type thing. You know what I mean? Wellwood Lane. Ricky, how much they want for this one? Oh, this one a flag one though. He got both of them side by side though, Ricky.
Yeah, they said I'm checking my notes. My notes say they want a fair price starting at 75K. So 75K for each. And they said you can get a call back at any time. Right now I'm gonna post a note, the notes from the what she wrote down.
Okay.
This what the note said.
Regarding a vacant lot, Wellwood just affirmed that I have to sell the right price, starting to figure 75 for each lot. Eloise will follow after. Eloise is your VA?
Yeah.
Okay. Process can be taught anytime. Okay. The only thing they got working for them in their favor is the fact that they have two lots side by side. But the only thing is that this one, you see how it's like it's pinched.
Yeah.
So I mean that one probably is not gonna be a no-go. But this one maybe, but it's still gonna be tough though. Because this is, I would probably say the best bet for this one, Ricky, is probably listing it on the market. Let me see. This is boom, add new area. So 90. Any questions on the filters that I use when checking these out? Oh shit, hold on. We got two of them on. Let me delete this.
So is that it? MLS sold 90 days. Those are the complete filters you're using, or is there anything else?
I start off at 90 days just to kind of get the most recent ones. And then if it's not a lot in within the 90-day period, then I go out. Let me redo it. I think I'm redo it again. Yours is in the cut over here, or where was yours at? Which one? Let me see. 1-1. Well, there we go. Oh, it's off. Perfect. So then you just click the filter, add new area. There's no exact science to this. You just have to kind of know the area that you're in a little bit just to kind of make sure that everything is good. So in the last 90, boom. Oh damn, nothing done sold in the last 6 months. One, damn. This is probably a house, 307. You might have to expand this. If there's not a lot in this area, you might have to expand it, but you just got to be cautious of expanding it and take it with a grain of salt. So let me do this. Right. Still nothing. If nothing pops up, then I'll just do the AI report. And then look, Ricky, this person sold for 75 right here. Was this a duplex lot? No, this wasn't a duplex lot. So we may be able to get more, but 75, 68, there's not enough data to support them being able to get over 75. So you might have to talk them down to like 60, maybe 60, 65. Because you got a 68 right here. And also you got to take into account that their lot is not the best position as well too. So if anything, Ricky, I'll have your VA offer them 55 to 60 to be on the safe side. And if they don't want it, don't try to get in yourself in tough deals to sell. Eli said when you offer flat fees to the resident, you normally go with getting paid at closing or today. They should be getting paid at closing, Eli. If they want something up front, I would definitely be like, probably not a good fit. Because I'm not getting paid until they're close. Nobody in real estate gets paid up front. Except appraisers and home inspectors. Al, which one? What's up with this Woodlawn one?
He just hit me. He just texted me. Wanted me to give him an offer on that Woodlawn. I just figure I'll throw it in the chat while I got you on the thing. I got him right here on the text message now.
This. What is this thing?
Oh, that's backed up to the highway, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to see which highway is this. It looked like Adams just bought this. 31 Woodlawn. Yeah, it looked like Adam just bought this. Adams bought it for 68 and back in December.
Oh, I wonder why he's still responding then. Okay, yeah. Thanks.
No problem. Wait. Anybody else got anything they need help with? Wait. All right, guys. So if not, if you guys don't have anything, we can go ahead and just wrap up a little bit early. I'm gonna just send this agent this listing stuff, and then we'll be back same time, same place on next Tuesday. And then I'll see you guys in Derby's group on Friday for those of you guys who are in Derby's group.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your day.